All right, today we're jumping into a historical scavenger hunt. We're going to investigate a tiny little coastal town in Spain and see how peeling back the layers of its name, one map at a time, might just lead us to an entire lost civilization.
I know, it sounds a little dramatic, but this is the big question we're tackling. Can the forgotten names of just one place really challenge the history that we all thought we knew? Well, let's dive in and find out. Okay, so here's the core theory from our source. The idea is that before the Roman Empire, there was this other major power called the Latin League. And when the empire rose, they basically tried to erase them from history. But, as author Charles Chambers argues, they couldn't destroy every single clue. He believes the evidence is hiding in plain sight, on old maps that have either been misdated or just totally misunderstood for centuries.
Our historical detective story kicks off in one very specific place. A small, beautiful town on the coast of Galicia in northwestern Spain.
This is Mugia. That's spelled M-U-X-I-A. But here's the thing. That name is actually pretty new. It's the local Galician pronunciation, and it only became official after 1975 when regional languages in Spain were finally recognized. So it kind of begs the question, what was it called before that?
To figure that out, we're going to take a trip back in time. We'll be using historical maps as our guide, peeling back the layers of this town's identity, one name at a time.
Our first jump back is a pretty small one, just a few decades ago. Let's take a look at this photo from the 1960s.
And there it is. Before it was Muxia, it was officially known as Mujia, so one name down. This just establishes that the name has definitely changed, even in recent history. Now, let's go deeper. All right, now we're going to jump back over 300 years. This map, made by the cartographers Ortelius and Coignet way back in 1609, gives us our next clue. And just look at this spelling here. It's not Mugia, it's Mungia with an N. The name is clearly still evolving as we travel back through time.
Our next piece of the puzzle is an undated atlas. Now it's French, but if you look closely at the place names, they're not in French or Spanish. They're in Latin. And this is a major turning point in our investigation.
And here, the town is called Mongi. In Latin, Mongi actually means monks. This suggests a connection to a monastic order, and it's almost certainly the root where Mongia and Mujia later came from. We're really starting to see the town's history take shape now. But you know, this whole investigation is about more than just the names. According to our source, the maps themselves tell a fascinating story.
So here's the author's really big idea. As we go further back in time, the maps don't get cruder or less reliable. They actually get better. We're talking more detailed, more accurate, and written in a purer form of Latin. He argues this is the smoking gun, the evidence of that lost advanced society, the Latin League.
Take a look at the difference here. The later maps, from the period we call the Dark Ages, use a less pure, kind of Italian-influenced Latin, and they're just not as precise. But the older maps, they use pure, ancient Latin and are incredibly sophisticated. It's the complete opposite of what you'd normally expect, and it suggests a decline from a more advanced civilization, not a build-up to one.
Okay, let's keep digging. We're now looking at maps where all the place names are in Latin, which puts us squarely in the Roman period.
So on one later Roman map, the town is called Mujia. But on an even older and way more detailed map, we find this really fascinating name, Magia. And the translation for that, magic. So you have to wonder, was this place once actually considered magical?
We've peeled back centuries of history, right? From Muxia to Mugia, Mongia, Mongi, Mujia, and Magia. But we are not done yet. We're about to uncover the oldest name of them all, the original name that our source thinks dates all the way back to the time of the Latin League.
So let's just recap our journey so far. Look at this progression. Each name has been a stepping stone, taking us further and further into the past. But what is that final, original name? What was this place actually called before the Romans even showed up? The source points to one specific map, one he believes is totally misdated, but is written in pure ancient Latin. And this map, supposedly from a time before the Romans, reveals the final, original name,
Grandimirum. That's the name, and its translation is just incredible, a great wonder. Just think about that. This place, now a quiet little fishing town, may have once been known to an ancient civilization as a great wonder of the world.
So,
what does this all mean? Well, this isn't just about solving a linguistic puzzle. It's about a whole collection of clues that seem to point to a hidden history.
When you put it all together, this trail of names suggests an advanced pre-Roman society whose legacy was basically buried by the empire. The clues managed to survive on these incredible maps, telling us that Mugia wasn't just any town, it was Grandimirum, a great wonder. And there's even one more layer to this whole thing.
On these oldest maps, the whole area is referred to as Promontorium Nerium Celticum, which translates to the Celtic promontory of Anirium. This adds an even deeper pre-Latin layer of history, connecting this great wonder to the ancient Celts who lived all over the region.
So, from Muxia all the way back to Grandimirum, we've traveled thousands of years through 9 different names. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If a single town's name can hide a history of lost civilizations, magic, and great wonders, what other secrets are just sitting in an archive, waiting on some dusty old map to be found?